That's easy for you to say.
That's something I've been hearing a lot lately, and I want to talk about it. What this is in reference to is some comments I made recently about how making money is the easiest thing. You can do this, anybody can do this, everybody should do this. This being building a business on the internet. Let's start with why my position is still, this is the best option for somebody wanting to start a new business today or relaunch an old business that's not doing so well. Even if that old business is an offline business, I'm going to suggest you should find a way to launch it online, because the tools that are available to us now are nearly miraculous in the amount of leverage they give us to start and grow a business without investing a huge amount of capital. It seems we have forgotten what it used to take to start a business in the bricks and mortar space. It was exorbitantly risky and expensive to start a franchise, let's say of a famous hamburger restaurant. It's going to be a minimum of $5 million and a year of your life in which you're not sure whether it's going to work or not. Now, you're relatively sure because this particular hamburger chain I'm thinking of is very successful and probably it's going to work, but maybe not. And if it does, the average take-home pay for a franchise owner is about $50,000 to $80,000. You just paid over $5 million to buy yourself a $50,000 job. That means you have to work all the time because your business is basically run by teenagers. A lot of the current young generation of people in their teens and 20s. That's not the kind of business I'm going to encourage you to start because it's too much risk and too much blood, sweat, and tears for you to invest when there's such an easier way to do it. And that's to take your skill, your wisdom, your expertise, or your idea, or your stuff, if you're selling physical stuff, take it to the internet where you can grow an audience of interested people. That's a key phrase, an audience of interested people. There's always an audience for authenticity. And the authenticity we're talking about is you being authentic with what you have to offer. There's so many ways to make money with that online, and the risk is nominal. All we really need is something to write with, like a tablet or a laptop or an old computer. Doesn't even have to be a state-of-the-art computer. Doesn't have to be one of the new MacBooks. It can be the most basic. It can be your phone, for crying out loud. The phone in your pocket. You can start with that and some ideas. If you have a Twitch channel or a YouTube channel or an influencer on Instagram or on TikTok, typically the way creators are going to make money on those platforms is they're going to allow the platform itself, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, to send advertising to their followers. What do I suggest instead? Use those platforms to build your audience of people who are interested in what you have to say and what you have to sell, and then sell to them directly. Get them on your email list. Get them on your physical newsletter list so you can send them stuff to their mailbox at their house. Get their phone number so you can talk to them on the phone. And when you have that information, when you own that information, you're no longer monetizing your audience. They're not your product. Your products are your products. And your audience, the people who like what you have to say, are the people who are going to buy from you. You don't need a big audience either. You don't need 100,000 followers on YouTube to make a YouTube channel profitable for you. I have less than 9,000 followers on my YouTube channel at the time I'm recording this. But we've made, I'm guesstimating now, well over 6 figures out of the YouTube channel alone this past 12 months. How? We don't have that much traffic, so it's not advertising. It's the connection we have with our audience and what we've ended up selling to them, what services we've provided to them because of the fact they like what I have to say on the YouTube channel. That's how you're going to monetize these platforms. And I think you can succeed a lot faster than I did because now you've got somebody, me, to show you the way. And it's not just me. There's tons of people teaching this stuff online. You can find tons of free tutorials on YouTube itself. You can also get led down a lot of rabbit trails that are unnecessary distractions. Some of them will seek to take your money unjustifiably, and there's just dangers you can avoid. What you want to do is publish meaningful content that you care about to a group of people who cares about it also. It's a small group to other companies, but to somebody like you who wants to talk about your passion, doesn't matter how obscure your thought is, if you can find other people who are into it, even if it's only half a dozen companies selling to them, you know you may be onto something. Then you got to go find out how big is this audience. See Kevin Kelly's article about 1,000 true fans. That's all you need. If you had 1,000 people who would spend $100 a year with you, you'd have $100,000 income. It's more attainable than you think, and it doesn't require that you be an internationally known celebrity to make it work. Online consumerism has grown astonishingly over the last couple of years during the recent unpleasantness. You know what I'm talking about. You need to get a piece of this pie. It's only going to continue to grow as more and more people discover it's really convenient and cool to buy stuff online. Get a piece of this action. Here's the deal. It's not easy for me either. It used to be. And that was a hindrance to me, really. Because as a person who teaches people how to start businesses online, how to sell more of their stuff online, I used to get frustrated when people would say,
Ray, I don't like being on video. I don't like going out and traveling and going to events.
I'd be like, what's the problem? It's fun. It's easy. You just turn on the camera, look at the lens and talk like I'm doing right now. Well, because it was so easy for me, I didn't have a lot of empathy for people for whom it was not easy. And then I got struck with two things. I suddenly discovered one day, I'm in my 50s, I'm 56. And about 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. It's become ever increasingly more difficult for me to appear on video and be cogent and have enough elocution and diction to be able to communicate clearly and in an animated fashion. Sometimes I'm unable to speak because of the disease. Sometimes I'm having wild dyskinesia, involuntary body movements and facial tics because of the side effects of the medication. I tell you this not to evoke sympathy from you. I don't like talking about it, but I have to because it's so obviously something that's happening with me. People want to know what's wrong with you, guy? Because you're moving weird, or you're not moving at all. You're like a statue, or you don't have any facial expression, or whatever's going on with me that day. It's made me very self-conscious. I'm just being transparent now. It's made me very self-conscious. Sometimes it's hard for me to appear in front of a group of people because I'm having a little trouble enunciating like I am right now, or because I'm acting weird or moving in a weird way or can't move at all, or feel like I'm going to totter over and fall over at any moment, which has happened. I always look for what's the advantage in this? What's the win in this situation for me? This is something outside my control. How can I turn it to my advantage? How can I make it so that God is making all things work for me because I am called according to his purposes and I love him? Romans 8:28. Here's one way. Now I have empathy. I understand. You don't want to appear on video. I understand more than this though. I also have, because of Parkinson's, I have chronic pain, chronic fatigue, and sometimes I'm just wiped out by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I can't do anything other than sit on the couch. I'm seriously limited in the amount of time I can put into my business. I have a good 15 to 20 hours per week to put into the business, and we've retooled the business so that it operates around those constraints, so that it operates around when Ray feels good enough to work, and Ray has his few 15 to 20 hours per week he can put into the business, and we're making more money than we ever have. Is that interesting to you? Because if you're a Gen Xer or a boomer, you know what I'm talking about. As you get older, now, some of you are in your 70s, you got way more energy and way more health than I do. God bless you. I love that about you. Take the ball and run with it. But for those of us who have sore knees or sore backs or sore ankles, or we're now in wheelchairs or on scooters or crutches or whatever the thing is we're faced with, we have chronic pain or chronic fatigue, I'm telling you, I'm saying to all of you, I'm saying to my downtrodden, my lame, my blind, my deaf, chronically in pain brothers and sisters, I'm saying to you, hearken to me. I can help you because you can do this. This is what I see that's got me fired up. I see people in those categories, Gen X, boomers, with neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's, MS, ALS. I see them giving up on life. And I want to say to you, if you have a desire to put something online, maybe if you have a terrifying health condition, you just want to put online information about your journey. There's a market for that, and it's a good market, and there's nothing wrong with asking people to pay for your book or for your talk about how you're dealing with it. If you have any of those things that are happening in your life, you know you've already bought the books, the talks, the memberships, the videos. I know because I bought them all too. That's one of the problems Gen Xers and boomers face right now if they want to get work from other people. Other people look at them and just think, oh, liability. They're expensive, first of all, because they got all this experience. And number two, they're sick, or they're old, or they're tired. You're going to call in sick every day or every other day or too often for me. You know the struggle you face in the workplace. Pardon me, but screw that. Make your own workplace, make your own business, make your own contribution, and set your own salary, your own income, and your own amount of impact and influence you're able to have. And it can be huge. The struggle is real, my friends. I know the struggle. I can help you with this. So I hope you'll follow this channel. You'll subscribe and click the bell for notifications. So whenever I make a new video, you can know about it and you can see what we have to share with you. So you can ask questions and I can feed the answers back to you, because I can tell you this is a great way to build a business that helps people, that has an impact, and can bring you a good income and take care of you and your family for life. I hope you'll join me on the journey. That's what we're going to be doing in this coming new year. I'm going to be walking you through how do you do this thing? How do you figure out what to sell? How do you figure out how to put it together? And how do you sell it? That's my specialty, by the way, writing copy that sells. But I've learned so much else along the way that I want to share with you. And you're going to find it free here on the podcast and on the YouTube channel. They're one and the same now. I'm doing the podcast on YouTube. I'm taking the audio and putting it on the audio podcasting channels. And voila, I've got videos, I've got audios, and that's your first lesson. Do things you can repurpose across multiple channels. That means you take one piece of work and you turn it into many different products, many different ways people can find out about you, become your audience, become your fans, become engaged with you, and end up buying things from you eventually in the future. Or if they don't buy things from you, you can help them for free, which I do for a lot of people, and I love that too. So join me on the journey. If you want to get notified for sure, go to rayedwards.com and sign up for our free newsletter. We'll let you know whenever we release a new video or new training or any new resource that'll be helpful to you. Until then, I pray that God blesses you, that he does more for you than you can ask or even possibly imagine. Peace to you, peace to your house. Live long and prosper. See you soon, my friends.